Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Granny B's house. Are you having a good day? Oh, I hope so. It's a good day where Granny B is. Are you remembering to be kind to the people around you? I hope so too. And all the little acts of kindness you can do that'll make your world a better place and make the world a better place for other people. You know, we try to make the world a better place for Ed the cat here. He likes to come and sit on my lap when I read sometimes, but he's kind of camera shy, so he doesn't seek out the camera. I have a book today. It's called Love Your Neighbor, and it's written by Melody Carlson. And it's a good lesson about treating other people the way you want to be treated. And I'm going to read it to you as soon as I can get this cat out of my way. Can you see the pictures? I'm going to have to ask him to leave. All right. I live in a house on Daffodil Lane where the kid next door is really a pain. Tim borrowed my bike and bent the front wheel, then said to me, "Hey, it's no big deal." And if that's not enough, he frightened my cat by swinging a big wooden baseball bat. Just by an inch, he missed Tabby's head. But what scared me most is what Grandma said. I complained to my grandma about this weird kid. I told her in detail everything that he did. She listened and smiled and nodded her head, but I almost croaked when I heard what she said. She took down her Bible from up on a shelf and read, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." I said to my grandma, "You've never met Tim. I'd gladly love anyone, but I can't love him." I waved bye to Grandma and went on my way. I hoped to forget all she'd had to say. Loving your neighbor may sound sweet and good, but not if your neighbor's name is Timothy Wood. I wished I could move to an igloo somewhere where my next door neighbor's a big polar bear. I'd gladly invite the fine fellow for tea. He could sit by my fire and watch my TV. We could play checkers and police and crooks. Why, I'd even loan him my favorite books. To be a good neighbor, I'd surely love him. But please don't you tell me I gotta love Tim. And if I lived far away in the jungle and well, Granny B's gonna start that page over. And what if I lived far away in the jungle in loving my neighbor? I'd surely not bungle, even if bunches of wild chimpanzees lived right next door, way up in the trees. I'd let them go first when we swung on the vine. If they ate my bananas, I'd say, "Hey, that's fine." For monkeys don't know what good manners are for, and they couldn't be worse than Tim Wood is next door. Oh, what if I lived on a boat with a sail, where my closest neighbor's a great big blue whale? I'd be just as good and nice as can be. I'd sure love my neighbor and hope he loved me. And what if the place that I called my home was the very same place the elephants roam? I'd cut lots of grass and invite them to lunch. In the lake, I'd pour grape juice to make purple punch. And if they forgot to say thank you or please, I wouldn't worry. I'd say that's all right. We'd be friendly neighbors, and we'd never fight. Or what if I wandered up north on the loose where my nearest neighbor's a long-legged moose? To be a good neighbor, I'd cook a fine meal of moose-friendly food. Not such a big deal. And even if 54 moose friends came too, I wouldn't be mad or make a to-do because he's my neighbor. I'd be nice to him and ever so grateful he's nothing like Tim. I sat on my front porch and dreamed what I'd do if I lived in a cave or a big city zoo, and all I imagined, no matter how grim, seemed pretty good compared to old Tim. Then I heard an odd noise and glanced at Tim's place, and there sat my neighbor with tears on his face. I watched in surprise, and then I felt bad. I wondered what made my neighbor so sad. I stood and I waved and I called out, "Hello," then got off my porch and walked over real slow. "What's up?" I asked. "Is the world going to end?" He frowned, then replied, "I don't have one friend." I swallowed real hard and looked down at my shoes. I pondered, then wondered what I had to lose. He wasn't an elephant, moose, or whale. He couldn't leap trees or swing by his tail. Then all of a sudden I wanted to see if I could love Tim the same way I love me. I wasn't real sure about what he would think. He might laugh out loud or make a big stink. "Well, Tim," I began, "I'd like to be friends and get along better and make some amends." His eyes lit up and he said, "That's cool." And that's when I learned the golden rule. Now, most of the time, Tim and I have a blast, and I think that our friendship is one that will last. But sometimes we battle and both get defeated. That's when I remember how I like to be treated. And even on days when we just can't agree, I try to love Tim the same way I love me. And I keep these words in my heart and my head. Love your neighbor as yourself, just like Jesus said. Well, that is a good lesson in the golden rule. Do unto others the way you want them to do unto you. So let's just keep that in mind when we remember to be kind to other people. Maybe it'll have them being kind to us before we know it. Well, you just remember that Granny B loves you, and Granny B will always be kind to you. And I want you to come back and see me again real soon so I can read you another story. Okay? Bye-bye.